What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here with part 6 of my Total War Warhammer 3 modded Taurox the Brass Bull campaign. So as we saw last time, once again we had a bunch of battles, though I suppose that is always going to be true for a Beastmen campaign, but the last battle was for the rune-tortured axes of Taurox, where we faced off against 2 Dark Elven armies and a Norscan army as well, with a little bit of help from our little green-skin friend Sporkticus. And we did acquire those axes, and Taurox damn well earned them, taking down so many enemy elites on his own and completely unsupported. I'm very happy with his performance so far as a unit/lord, and we have to also keep in mind that he does not have even a single point invested in his fighty tree as yet, not even Gouge Tusks. I guess we do have 1 point in Juggernaut, but well, he's going to get a lot stronger over time. It's going to be exciting to see what kind of heights we can take him, and I'd be curious to see if he's going to be on par with Grimgor. Anyway, what do we got to do this time around? We'll be heading up north, or south, the opposite, towards Hellspire, and starting our attack on the Barrow Legion here, mostly because they're in the way. They're in the path of the rampage, and the rampage stops for no one. Kazrak and Morgar will probably meet up to transfer a few units, as Kaz is holding one of the Sangors, and we are holding a Tuskor chariot on Morgar's army that really isn't needed here, and we'll continue our path of destruction within the interior of the Empire, and I guess slowly start moving outwards, which Malagor has already begun. Anyway, I do believe that's pretty much it for what we have to do this turn, in fact, because there really wasn't much. I do have one thought, though. So for now, we have 4 turns of the joining of the herds, or the joining of herds. This is the last one we're liable to get for a while. Maybe we'll run into another beast herd at some point that we'll be able to confederate, but maybe not. So our horde building construction will rarely, if ever, be as cheap. On top of that, Taurox will have his next rampage, the Savage Rampage, up soon, which could give him another 25% horde building construction cost reduction, and we may want to take advantage of that. In that light, I think we want to get as much money as we can and then just massively upgrade Taurox's army once we have it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take Clan Creepus here, and we're going to do a temporary defensive alliance with them. We can break it in 10 turns, and we'll join the war against Droika for another 5.5k. I think that's pretty darn worth it at the current time, and nothing really stops us from betraying and destroying them later. And I guess they have been providing a little bit of trade tribute to us in this entire time, so that's what we'll do. Like so. Granted, the bestial rage will get lowered because of that, but whatever. Oh, we could get another 2k out of the military alliance, which we could similarly break if we wanted to. Do we want to? Do we care about this? I mean, it's another 2k. It makes no difference. 10 turns, we break it anyway. Yeah, go for it. Why not? Now, this is going to be painful with regards to... Okay, yeah, War Banner. Wait, where'd that War Banner come from? Enter a military... Oh, wow, we actually... And we got more money. Huh. Okay, I didn't even remember that we had this, quest. We should really check those. Earn 20 allegiance with any faction. Well, it's not going to happen with the Skaven, because we're going to betray them and destroy them, but it will probably happen with one of the Chaos factions, so that's fine. What do we have here? Maintain control of 3 provinces. That's... physically impossible, right? No, actually it is possible. We can do it in Athel-Loran. Okay, well that's just another reason to burn all those wood elves down. Otherwise, I believe we are looking good. We could do the alliances with the other Skaven, but I also don't want to go overboard with it, because it just feels wrong. How much money would you give us for defensive? About another 2k as well. And Clan Septic is at least really weak. Clan Skull is reasonably strong, but I want to take a look at this. Casualty replenishment, non-aggression pact, alliance made, yeah. let's wait on that. When we are already losing 3 bestial rage per turn, it's a little bit much right now. Money be damned, or favor be damned, I guess. Don't let the dark gods hear you say that. Anyway, we're gonna skip the rest of this, including the outpost, because we need it for upgrading Taurox's horde here, and end the turn. And then we'll proceed. While the turn is ending, it looks like we did once again manage to reach, rather, the allegiance, thinking of the alliance, the Alliance Allegiance engagement threshold, and so this episode will of course be an hour long as promised, and the next episode will be an hour long should we get 300 likes and 50 comments. Non-aggression pact with Clan Skull, no thanks, we've already signed one too many pact. We'll wait until those dissipate or something. Also, I forgot to mention, as promised at the end of last episode, I did a little bit of the admin in between the episodes, so you might have noticed a minor difference. Okay, yeah, we have a new quest, thank you, great. Icons of Vilification for Malagor. What is he facing off against? Oh, a bunch of Imperials. Ooh, Demigryph Knights. Well, that's gonna be a toughie for him. And there's reinforcements, eh? Well, we'll see about that, but what I was going to say was this. I did the battle as promised at Allenhof because it wasn't going to let us auto-resolve it despite being absolutely garbage, and at the same time... Oh, would you look at that? Festus has infested Fort Schiphol, and we won't be able to bring it down for... Oh well, it's okay. He can get a few extra territories. What I was saying was I did the same at Ergig, so that our army is pretty okay right now, and I also didn't want to waste time on screen fighting those garbage battles, because inevitably I would have just cut them out of the episode anyway, because they were a waste of time with their garbage garrisons. Anyway, it looks like we're moving here to take out Mr. Luther Orr. And, ooh, hello. Whoa, okay, wait, Zintler's Reichsguard again. Looks like Mr. Kazrak is following in the footsteps of Taurox, as he first brought Karl Franz low, and now will bring the Zintler's Reichsguard low, just like Taurox did on his little rampage. And, oh wow, that hurt our gores way more than it should have. Well, that's a shame. We're gonna take the money, though. It's not a lot of money, though. Yeah, but nonetheless, we need every single little bit of favor we can get right now. We're going to pop you into Hidden Encampment, and we're going to sit right outside Groyden right here. 100% ambush. Kaz does good ambush. Morgar, I guess you're going to meet up with Kaz since you're kind of basically here anyway. Go all the way out here. There's 75 ambush regardless of where you go. And I really want to trade him this Tuskor Chariot because, frankly, we're not going to get any use out of it in this army. Yeah, especially when we have the various Centaurs who are going to get buffed as soon as Morgar reaches that coveted rank 12. Taurox. To the beast paths you go, my friend, right up to Hellspire, which we'll be taking out next turn. Alright there, attack-minded for Kazrak, great for Kazrak. And, we saw that Hellfire Sword last episode. I don't think that's the second one. Oh, it is the second one. Oh, well then nice. We can... Okay, wait, here's the question. Does the Banner of Eternal Flame that you have... Yes, it does affect allies in range. Ooh, so we'll give a double Hellfire Sword to the Gore Bulls that we are saving our Dread for, and that we will summon shortly. Alright. Alright, that's gonna work. Plan is coming together now. Malagor, I do believe we had something for you to do as well, sir. Your army is, well, not complete, but stronger than it was. We do have to get you to rank 12, though. And let's get you into those deep beast paths, and let's start moving towards those enemies that declared war on us. And, ooh, hello. Siegfried Schmidt, is besieging Bilbali. And, ooh, he has a Trickster's Helm. Well, hopefully he wins and we kill him and then take his stuff. Malagor is right beside. Too bad we can't switch out into a raiding stance while we're here, but oh well. It'd be nice if he had some sort of Beast Path raiding stance, but I guess that might be a little obnoxious. Anyway, I do believe that's the end of the turn. Oh god, it feels weird to not do anything over an end turn, doesn't it? Okay, you know what? You know what we can do? It's the 6th episode and we haven't named anything in a while. Let's get some of those names in there. Chaos Spawn. Let's start with you. Huggy Bears. Actually, no, you know what? Spawn of the Shadow Gave. It seems thematic and you should be the first of the, well, Spawn of the Shadow Gave. And Spawn Gore's fantastic name. Oh, love it. Though confusing it may be. Huggy Bears, you're gonna be in here as well, not to worry. Let's do one more. How about Living Failures? I wonder how the Beastmen, well, just like the I'm thinking of Marauders, Norscan Marauders, and Forsaken and Chaos Spawn, viewing it as a kind of a blessing, though I guess it depends on who you talk to, and I imagine the Beastmen view it as something along the same lines. They hate civilization, and, well, Chaos Spawn are nothing if not the epitome of uncivilized. Anyway, let's know a few of the things in here, too. We're definitely going to keep at least a couple of Razor Gore herds in Kaz's army, because I like them, and they can move along with the pigs, or even the Razor Gore chariots. They will work. How about the Foul Tusks? And then you, sir, shall be, how about Kazrax? Good boys. There we go. And you know what? We can name the dogs as well. Yeah, I've been meaning to get a few names in here, and it's about time. How about, Dreckwald Doggos, I like it. You belong here. And how about Blighted Mongrels for you? Keep an eye on those units that get some nice feats as well. Shadowpeck. And one more, how about Fantastic First and Goremost. Oh, very, very nice name. And you know what? We have not named this Bestigore herd. How's about the Bleating Edge? A very, very nice name. Oh, you guys are just fantastic at this whole name thing. I can do better than the Moo Man group. Okay, I'll come up with something, don't you worry. Alrighty, but anyway, I'm getting distracted. I think that was about as admin as we're likely to be, so let's end the turn and let's proceed. After a quick look at the Diplo, Clan Skull is quite weak, really want a defensive alliance. They're willing to give us 3k for it now. I'm curious, if we join the war against Averland, we get 2k. If we join the war against the Golden Order, we get 7.4. I guess we could do Averland. I mean, it's fine. Oh, we would inevitably be going to fight them anyway. How much money would you give us for this as well? Ooh, another 5k. We'll just betray them later. I want the money. And would this be giving us even more? Nah, you ran out of money. Okay, okay. Am I over-preparing, perhaps? But, you know, I don't think it's a big deal. You're willing to give us 2k for this, but I think we'll wait on you, Clan Septic. Once again, I don't want to go too overboard. Because, well, once again, we'll just have to betray them later anyway. Anyway, now we can end the turn. We got 26k. That is still not going to be enough for Taurox's various upgrades, but we're getting there. We'll also want to pop the next 2 Ruination levels, so we want to max out these 2 little Ruination points. And acquire just enough marks, hopefully, to get to the next level. And though we will rapidly run out of time, so we gotta make sure we get into the position to build what we have with the money we have and the reductions we have at the exact right time. Alright, come on, Albric Witzenheimer, go after Groyden, and what do you want? Defensive lines? No. We had enough of those. Why would you walk past Kazrak like this? Are you... Okay, well, you've screwed yourself. I mean, I guess he would have gotten into the ambush anyway, and Groyden, but nonetheless. Clan Creep is destroyed. Huh. Ally loses outpost. Were they building an outpost? That's kind of funny. Eye of the Gods, Kazrak, you get more money. Well, that's nice. That's real nice. Alliance made, yeah, we're still gonna have this for a while. What's the likelihood the other one we got an alliance with will die as well? More likely than not, they'll die by us killing them. once we send a horde back here to clear them out. As the Skaven are a civilization, they are absolutely a civilization. You could say they're more of a well, at least from a technological perspective, more of a civilization than anybody else, so yeah. Anyway, Castle Drakenfels. You were at war with Argwalon and Aranok. Okay, neither one of them will talk to us, and therefore there's only one thing to do. Head to Hellspire, declare war, and destroy it. Now we can auto-resolve that, yeah, right? There's no need. A Gift of Chaos, Slugskin, ooh, Poison Imbuement. I do like that. I like that very much. Now we're gonna loot and raise you, sir. And, alright, let's see. Passive ability, Slugskin. Great for Taurox, and in fact, Poison on Minotaurs is gonna be real nasty. We have 4 momentum. We can replenish if we wanted. How close are we to this? Damn, we need to get closer, that's what we need. Either way, we're gonna perform the ritual now at Aleheart, which will get us the next point here. Perform ritual. Can't risk that getting destroyed with the 60 marks of ruination that it has. And ooh, and we're very, very close to the next one as well. And might even be enough to get the... this might even be enough marks. Which would be swell. Alrighty, Brayherd Ascends, that's great. There's those marks of ruination. How are we at Castle Drakenfels? Alright, there's some defenders. Can't quite tell how many, though. Let's get you into raiding stance. Move you here. And you do make decent money doing this. Ooh, they got 4 Cairn rates. Well, it's not a problem for Taurox. We really need a Lichbone Pennant. Could really use a unit of Marauders with magic. I hope that our faction can actually find a Lichbone Pennant. I also noticed that there's an army here, but we can attack them at Castle Sanglok. We have 2 turns remaining of the joining of herds, okay? Alright, I gotta figure this out. How to do this right. First of all, Malagor. You, sir. We are not at war with Bilbali right now, but ooh, you can also make 1,200 money. You know what? Go here, or right at the edge of this. Don't attack Bilbali yet. We'll attack Sahagun. But for this turn, we will raid, and then we'll go back for Bilbali after. We can make Sahagun a herd stone and raise everything around it. I mean, it's not much to raise around it, but, you know, it'll be worth our time. Probably still better than Bilbali, because it'll overlap at least partially with Lequeno, unless we delete it. And frankly, we're probably going to make another one at Gnawpit when we start attacking Clan Eshin, so, yeah. Alright. Taurox, stay where you are, buddy. Morgur and Kazarek. Now, Morgur, you could reach Eldebrand here. And, what's the likelihood that the Tuskor Chariots get killed with an auto-resolve here? There's not much. This army probably isn't worth attacking. On the other hand, you know, it is money. Alright. Kaz, go right here. We're gonna do this. We're gonna leech a little bit of XP from both. Alright there, please. Morgur, let's see if you can ambush. Hopefully you won't run. Come on, you can do this. And fantastic. Auto-resolve, looks like Morgur's army is fine, and Kazarek's army is fine. Obviously, they would have stood no chance here. And, hey, we got 2,000 gold out of that, and another 2,000 gold hurts the bestial rage on Morgur's army, but we're getting a pretty good amount. Another Scarecrow banner? It's the 3rd one we have. The Barbarian should not go to Kazarek, though. The Barbarian should most definitely go to Mr. Brassy here. Alright, ancillaries. You don't need the War Banner. Although, War Banner would probably be superior than the Scarecrow Banner. Take the War Banner. Yeah, Morgur has the other one, which does make sense. You're going to attack Castle Drakenfels in an actual battle in a second. What I want to do now is this. You two... Wait. You can't be in our own territory, can you? Wait, go here. And you... Well, actually, you're not that damaged. But nonetheless, go here. Go into an encampment, like so. And then trade units. You will trade the Tuskor Chariots and the Thangors. And I guess you can take the Blackhorn's Ravagers and trade one of the Ungor Spears. Something like that. Alright, and I think that's good enough. Kaz, you can no longer move, but you can raid your own territory, and you can raid any territory. And there you go. Both of you stay right there. We'll send one of them up to Krudenwald, and we'll send the other down to Talabaim through Wiedebach to knock out Karl yet again. I almost feel bad. Almost. Anyway, Kaz, you could also build some stuff, but I think we can wait on that one, right? 6.3 and 8.4, not bad. We can reduce it further, but it'll have to wait. Oh, actually, no. We might want to do this right now. It will take too long to get to Krudenwald, and the joining of herds will disappear. Ah, level 11, so close. Alright, fine. Perform this ritual. Yeah, just do it. And yes, that did reach it, which isn't 15% horde building construction cost reduction. Very, very nice. And did that give us a new army? Are we able to... No, we need one more. Alright, we can reach the next one at reasonably quickly. Then, a bit of a... this is probably as administrative-y as this campaign will ever get, so yeah. You're gonna go into ambush now, and then we're going to do replenish Taurox's movement range, and then that gives us 1 momentum, let's not lose it, and we'll get into... Huh? You can't go into Ruination? Oh, there you can. Go into Ruination now. Alright, close victory. Let's put the poison on one of the Munitors, or the Marauders specifically. Imbuement poison. Very nice. And the war banner... Is it necessary? No, but on Taurox himself. I think we'll want to fight this rather than getting too damaged. Plus, I kind of want to see the Karen race fight. Plus, I know I'm biased, but I just love seeing the vampire counts fight. We will, however, need to level you up, sir. I don't really care about Savage Dominion in this particular situation. We could get the Mantle of Gorok, but... would it be all that useful? I mean, yes, we could significantly increase the damage of Taurox himself, but A, his damage is already insanely high, and B, it's a lot of mana when we can use it to do damage instead. So I'm thinking no. I'm thinking we get Earthing, because I always overcast Devolve and Viletide, and frankly, our shamans keep getting hurt because I keep doing so. Alrighty. Damn, I got 5 Herdstone shards now. We can have Herdstones wherever we want. Anyway, let's fight this one. I don't know if the cinematic will work because it's another siege, but, well, if it doesn't, then, well, I'll do both. Alrighty, let's see if this one works, but I'm reasonably sure that it should, because I saw when playing it that this gate had 30,000 HP, just like it does here, so there should be no difference between the two types of gates slash battles like there were in the previous episode with that particular... gate and fortress. Anyway, and the Minotaurs are obviously charging towards the enemy gate together with all of our Warhounds and our Razor Gores, and the gate will go down reasonably quickly, or at least it should. Let's speed through that a little bit as it continues to drop and fully go down. This allows us to enter the city, and yes indeed, and this battle will be working. Taurox always first into the fray. And we'll head directly towards the enemy vampire. That's a brave vampire to face off against Taurox, but pretty much anything is brave to face off against Taurox, so fairly enough. He's going to leap away for a second right into this pile of enemy Karen Wraiths so that he can use his Bloodbeast ability and get that explosion and take about half of their HP off, which ain't too bad. The rest of our army streams into the city, the Doggos, the Pigos, and the Bullos, and they together will make up our battle line. Shouldn't be too problematic. We also do have mage support with Salah out there ready to cast a Devolve on this pile of enemy units. and start that lovely acid rain that we love fighting under. There we go. The bats probably don't appreciate that, and neither do the Cairn Wraiths when a Vile Tide comes down and rips apart more than half of their HP as well. This army does otherwise lack magical damage on units, no Lichbone penance to be found here, and only Taurox really has it as in a magical damage, so we'll need to be careful about dealing with all of these units of Cairn Wraiths. And that said, this is a lot of units damaging them, and they are going to be afflicted by a bunch of things. That lethal poison and that bleed should be hurting them. At least I would hope so. It looks like neither one is actually... wait, are Cairn Wraiths immune to contact effects? They could very well be. I can't select that one anymore, but if they're immune to contact effects, then that wouldn't help them. Yeah, they are. I mean, it does make sense. You probably shouldn't be able to poison or bleed a Cairn Wraith, and in fact, now that makes me wonder, and does SFO have immune to contact effects on most constructs? Because I always found it weird when, like, a Crypt Ghoul could poison I don't know, an Ushabti, or poison something like a Kemrian War Sphinx or something. It didn't make any sense to me. Especially if it was just Crypt Ghoul poison and not some kind of crazy magical nonsense Nurgle poison. But anyway, I digress. I'll be sure to check that out next time I see a construct in SFO. Anyway, we are still trying to make our way further into the city, but more or less are just now fighting with all of those Graveguard and Cairn Wraiths in here. And I do imagine they'll be out of the picture before long. Also, Taurox just looks great in this type of lighting. They've been getting good lighting throughout this campaign. I know it's an odd comment to make, but, well, other than that one battle with Malagor in the complete dark, generally a lot of the lighting has matched our own color scheme, which I always appreciate. Anyway, another devolve comes down on the remnants of the enemy. We can see them highlighted by that little foggy effect, and the Graveguard at least are suffering between the devolve and the poison and the lethal poison and the bleed. That's a lot of effects. And man, it must be really nasty with Morgur's army if you can combine all those effects plus what Morgur can do. It should be pretty bad. Anyway, we're facing off against another unit of Cairn Wraiths, and this time we will preemptively send Taurox in to deal with them. Bloodbeast is in effect, and then we pop a Vile Tide on top of that just to try to get rid of that unit of Cairn Wraiths a little bit quicker. Taurox is a little bit damaged, so he does pop a brass body on himself, but otherwise it looks like the enemy army will shatter and the battle will be ours. And just gotta run down the rest of the Cairn Wraiths and the Graveguard. A bit of a shame. I also do love the color scheme, since we're talking color schemes today, on Heinrich Kemmler's Barrow Legion, rather, as forces. The Graveguard look pretty great, as their corroded armor sort of matches the color scheme of the rest of their outfit. It's quite nice. Anyway, nice but not for much longer. There we go, the battle's ours, and it did work this time around. Alright, minimal losses and mission accomplished. Now what we want to do is this. We want to raise the place... Ooh, 2.5k, yeah, we'll take it. You're not going to move back. Great. Go into Juggernaut raiding, and... Ooh, 2 armies. Good chance, I think, that they'll head towards us. But... we're going to have to... Ah, damn. They'll probably spot us in the hidden encampment, won't they? Huh. If we get found while in hidden encampment, can they stop? I wonder. Ah, man, too bad we can't replenish again, but we'll go down to 0 momentum, and we really need that next level of Savage Rampage. So instead, we're going to build the basic forms of a few buildings. We could build you right now, but then we won't have 3 next turn anyway, so we can reduce it further. And we do want to build the Giant Slayer, but we can build that next turn as well. Okay, let's build the Shaman's Flame Pit so that next turn we can build the Shaman's Pyre at 5.2k, which is quite expensive. Not so much because we care about the Shamans here, but because we care about the ability to get Shatterstone and break through city walls. Granted, we can break through gates pretty easily, but it's a very useful ability. And plus we get bonuses to various magics. Alright, so you're going to build that. Then you are going to build the breeding pens for more money and post-battle loot. And anything here that we really want to build. Mostly to get stuff in the second tier of it. I mean, we basically want to build everything here, but there's no need to build these two in this turn. 1, 2... I guess we'll probably want to build those metallic remains, eh? I don't think the Blasted Monolith has enough use for us to ever bother building it, but this gives us the challenge, the Dark God's completion rate, and Horde growth for all armies. That is helpful. It's only 2.6k. The next level will be expensive, and then we'll build you and you. We'll have to actually get rid of the dugout, and then replace it with the giant building, meaning we want to demolish you right now. And ooh, then we won't have the ability to build any more gores with shields to replace those ones that we have. But I guess we'll just, well, we'll just replace them with ungores without shields. Oh, these are ungores with shields, but replace them with ungores without shields anyway. I think it'll be fine. At least I hope it will. I mean, I guess we could forego another one of these buildings. But no, I wanna get as much possible in the way of upgrades for Taurox's horde this time. Hopefully these guys attacking us, if indeed they do, don't stop his thing here. What he's doing. Anyway, Bravener, you are headed to join Morger, and thus you can travel by river, I think. Alright, you two are staying where you are. And the rest of that I'm happy with, so that means we're going to find out whether this plan will work. We have 2 turns left of the joining of the herd, so we have to do this very turn. And how many more turns until the dark moon is over until the next full moon? 3. Okay. Okay. I hope I planned this out correctly. Alright, skip outpost upgrades, etc. Let's find out if I did. But also I kind of would love it if these 2 armies would attack us. I just wouldn't love it if our building upgrades failed if they did. And I'm just not sure. They might try to move in to retake Castle Drakenfels. You want peace? But for only 882, it's not worth our time. We might peace out with you, but only if you're willing to offer us thousands of gold. Alright, it looks like these guys have failed, which means we can attack Eugene Helsnicht, then go into another building stance and build a lot of stuff up right after, but this will be the first thing we do. Would you look at that? A massive pile of the dead have decided to fight Malagor. Now the question is, do we fight them like this? The problem here is this. They are using animated Hulks and the zombie-powered gunnery mob bombers. Very, very nice. This is a fantastic combination, and I used it to very great effect in my Aranessa campaign. Kind of impressed with the AI doing the same here. Very cheap and effective units. Okay, so here's what we'll do. You're going to pop your Scarecrow banner. We're going to try to retreat, and we'll see if they can still follow us. And obviously, if they can, then we'll fight. And they will not, which means we now can ambush one of those armies. It wasn't worth the risk fighting 2 armies with a pile of harpies and ungors, in my opinion, as we'd get too badly damaged to continue even if we were to survive that. We gain a little undivided corruption, but we lose horde growth and 1,000 gold? No, no. What? What are you talking about? The Ruinous powers. Hey, those are my favorite powers that look down upon us with ire, Lord. Perhaps we were not diligent enough in sowing catastrophe. Perhaps you do not care. If you do, a sacrifice of warriors should appease their dark desires. If you do not, then the herd awaits. The herd is yours, and nobody, not even the gods, can wrest it from your control. Spare the warriors. Alright, Taurox gets the ambush thing, though he cares little for ambushing. Confederation between Reichland and Hawkland. Skull Smashers destroyed. And the Warherd Ravages campaign movement range increase. Nice, nice, nice. We've also managed to earn 20 allegiance with somebody, apparently. And... okay, we need to... presumably... we can get this going, meaning we need to absolutely win this battle. Now, Castle Sanglock is a fort. It's a small fort, but a fort nonetheless. Last time we fought at a fort, it didn't work, unfortunately. And we could skip it and go to Ubersreich, or, ooh, Castle Asgaraz. Alright, go into Beastmen ambush. I want to see something. Go forward this way. Aha, there's a full stack here. And past them is Arguelon, who we're not currently at war with. On the other hand... oh, damn, I was going to... oh, I forgot to raise the Herdstone on Castle Drakenfels. I guess we could do it at Castle Sanglock, then. Would it actually have been better? What's the difference here? Is there really no difference? Oh, Castle Drakenfels is better. It actually gives us Castle Paravon as an option. Well, it happens. It happens. Oh well, we'll raise it at Castle Sanglock and then raise another one near Castle Paravon at like Vifin or something like that. I guess we're gonna attack the fort then. We may even be able to go for the fort and... oh, no we won't. Because we'll have to stand still and we won't be able to replenish, but we will regain the momentum by 1 turn. Oh, this whole thing is going to be iffy, but we are going to attack right now. Go into Ruination stance. Like so. I can't believe I forgot I was going to raise that Herdstone at Drakenfels. What are you doing, Ruinous? Alright. Castle Sanglag. Now this one is likely to not work since the last fort didn't work, but who knows? We're about to find out. Alright, let's see, and the gate health is at 14k, which means this will not work as a cinematic battle, and that's why you're hearing me right now, and watching me set the battle up, rather than what would normally happen, which would be, well, without the setup and just straight into the fight. Alright, well then, we're going to head directly for the gate as we do, and I guess we're going to head with all of you, while all of you guys stay back. Giant pile of units, start deployment, and head directly for that gate. Try not to get too badly damaged. Taurox lead the charge, and let's hope the towers go for you. Although generally I guess the vampire counts aren't going to be too keen on holding the towers anyway. I really would like all of these units not to be in column formation, but I guess you can't stop them. I really hope they fix that. And not just, I mean, for the gate at least it somewhat makes sense, but there's a lot of other stuff that tends to get columned when it really, really shouldn't. Alrighty, now I do see an enemy tower. It is a tier 1 tower, but there's a couple of other nice ones which we may want to stop firing at our blob of units. Hey, you, sir, also need to not die. Let's keep you back here. We'll make you group 2 and everybody else can be group 1. The gate is done. And charge on through. Alright, and Taurox actually go after that Necromancer, who unfortunately has a steed, but as I recall you run pretty darn fast. 68. It's alright. Alrighty, let's see if the enemy lord can be forced into engagement. Oh, there's another Necromancer on a corpse guard. Now that, there's no way you're outrunning. Alright, the rest of our units are in. Let's pop a Trickster Shard on those 2 Necros, and then pop a Overcast Devolve on... many units as we can hit here. Wow, why isn't it affecting the Cairn rates? Okay, fine. Pop it right... huh, doesn't seem to be affecting a lot of units. It might be buggy, though. Do that. Hopefully it affects more than we... oh, no, that was not... oh, that was a Vile Tide. Oh. It was the wrong spell. That would have been bad. But the rest of this is fine. Let's also move a few Ungors in here. Yeah, you know what? Let's move all the Ungors in here. Taurox. Did you get distracted? Or did you destroy that thing? Nah, you know what? The Necros have all run away, so let's pop your Bloodbeast, move away, and join the fray. Speaking of the fray, as we can watch the fight here. We probably want to Vile Tide. You know what, Taurox, charge that unit of Cairn Wraiths. It's the biggest issue here. Don't really care about Brass Body right now. We do have a pretty cool shot of all these units fighting though. They're surrounded from every side, and thus they're killing in all directions, which is really what they all want anyway. Alright, just gonna double check the HP of those units. Still looking okay. We should pay attention to the next devolve available, and you know what, let's pop the Vile Tide as well after the devolve. First of all, overcast devolve on everything there, and then Vile Tide. I know, this blob of zombies. Ooh, let's wait until these skeletons arrive and then pop that Vile Tide right in there. And go. Alright, that should be pretty nice. There we go. Alright, I'm sure our shaman will have earned his keep with that spell alone. Let's get a couple of Ungors in here to help out as well. But the enemy look to be in pretty bad shape. Let's also be careful about the Marauders who have taken damage here. Alright, but otherwise, I guess, well, it may not have worked as a full cinematic, but we're getting plenty of good shots, so pseudo-cinematic works this time around. I did say I love fighting the undead, and this is what I love about it, the absolutely massive hordes of the shambling dead attacking you from every direction. Numberless, it seems. And just wearing you down with attrition. Alright, and this unit of Razor Gores, you can move into the center of our formation with our more hurt units. And oh, would you look at that? An enemy White King, hello. You, sir. Activate your Brass Body and then move towards him. Ungors, try to move in to help if you can. Do we have another spell available? We do have another Vile Tide here. Looks like this should be good. Stop that. I'm seeing a lot of good Vile Tide work this episode. Nice. And, oh, did that knock down a... okay, but he's gonna get it back up. He's fine. It looked like it knocked down a Minotaur. Did the White King already get ripped apart? The White King's gone, isn't it? Yep. Okay. Alright, a little bit faster than I was expecting, perhaps, but, well, can't complain about it. Taurox is going to kill things quickly. Alright, and the battle is nearly ours. Gonna activate that Bloodbeast and get a few more shots of our units fighting and killing in every direction, giving the true death to all these zombies and skeletons. Alright, just need a few more Minotaurs in this army and we'll be golden. And of course the other elite big ol' units, but yeah. Alright, you guys move on in. How we doing here? Bounce bar's about 90% in our favor, maybe 85. And oh, the Necromancers is still running around in the background. Man, it's so bizarre to watch the AI attempt to use the vampire factions. It's just really not good at it. Imagine having a corpse cart and a massive pile of skeletons and zombies and not keeping the corpse cart near them. Vigor Mortis alone is a +10/+10 melee attack and defense without even considering Balefire or Unholy Lodestone and the bonuses that they provide. The increase especially to skeletons and zombies just from Vigor Mortis is pretty massive, as they are low quality units otherwise. Anyway, go kill that corpse cart. Since they're not gonna use it, they might as well lose it. Alright, a few more hits. Those towers are doing pretty good. You guys want to go after that Necro since the battle... Oh, you know what? Let's send... actually the battle should be ours in a few seconds. Alright, Taurox, you found the thing. Activate the Potion of Toughness, and don't bother with the Bloodbeast, I think. And just knock these things out. And there we go. These Necromancers ain't escaping now. They're poisoned, and hey, how dare you knock out one of our precious little doggos. He was a good boy. Alrighty, Master Necro. Well, you wanted to master death. There you go, buddy. Looks like you've mastered it. And alright, you guys need to chase down those zombies, and I think a few of you will need to chase down the other unit, and let's speed it up while the battle ends. Right, half of you go over here. We need to actually get engaged with the enemy unit and hopefully do so before too many more of our units and get destroyed. I'm also curious. You got 392 kills and nearly 100,000 damage. Very well done, Mr. Slaw. I think that's the most damage we've gotten on a Beret Shaman so far. And there we go. Alright, there we go. This time I won't forget, and we will raise a Herdstone set. And hey, we got 2,000 gold for raising Castle Drakenfell, so you know what? Maybe it, though it was an accident, maybe it was the appropriate move. Now, Savage Rampage activated. Korok's Manripper's Vestigor Herd are here, and we got a full province. And oh, we can build the forts. Growth plus 10 adjacent provinces. Huh. Wait. Huh. That's kind of interesting. It doesn't count as a, it doesn't count as 20,000 gold? I think the game was never expecting you to raise a Herdstone here, because it doesn't count as a Herdstone, it counts as an occupied fortress. And more curiously, we lost a Herdstone shard, but it wasn't a Herdstone. Interesting. Either way, Taurox, you're going to switch to your regular stance. And, ooh, what if this guy besieges us, though? Let's not risk it. You're going to leave the settlement. You're going to go into hidden encampment. No, but then they'll know that you're there. What's the likelihood that he attacks us? Low, right? I'm going to say low. Either way, we're going to go to Savage Rampage. We're going to pick this one. Horde building construction cost minus 25. Like so. And he's not gonna besiege us. I hope. We are damaged though. He clearly has another army, and I mean Kemler. I'm just worried about going into hidden encampment and then the enemy noticing that our army is not noticing that it's there and then falling for an ambush, which may force us out of the encampment stance. I don't know. What I do know is that we want to build all these. We've used money on it, so let's hope that this works. I will be salty if it does not. Alright, then we'll build the giant building here. Like so. Can't go for the Gorgon's Lair, unfortunately, because we don't have the growth for it, but oh well. We'll build the raiding class for a mere 1,000 gold. Fantastic. And then we'll build the Mound of Blades for the magic item drop chance and Touched by the Moon ability. Deals severe damage upon expiry, though. Ooh. Severe damage only if a lord is not a lord or hero. I'm not sure we'll ever use this ability unless we're very desperate, but the magic item drop chance is worth it alone, because we need more magic items, and then Pile of Flesh to get Vile Entropy, and to reduce the enemy missile capabilities, and get that constant replenishment. There we go. It cost us a lot, but this is going to be a huge upgrade to the army here. And I'm happy with that. Alright, next up, Kaz. My dear Kaz, I want you to do two things. First of all, get rid of this Sungor herd. Though you do buff Ungors, you know what you buff way more? Bestigors. Korok's Manrippers. Now, entering the field. You will then... we can do beast paths, or we can do raiding. Can we go into an enemy territory from here? No, but it looks like we cannot. Wait, actually it looks like we can reach Crudenwald. Maybe. Oh, go here. See if you can. Nah, looks like you're just short of it. Just short of it. Huh? No, looks like you're in it, actually. So are you making no money in raiding? Well, either way. And Morgar. I was gonna say head to Taliban, which I guess you can do. Do we want to... raise a Herdstone here, right outside of Groydon? I mean, I guess we can. Aw, look at Festus grabbing stuff. I'm tempted to kind of get rid of the Groydon Herdstone, actually. Just so that Festus can grab a few of these territories, because I was gonna grab Wolfenburg and have one of our beast hordes destroy Azag. but Festus can grab all these Empire territories. Let him do chaos things. What's at Talabheim, incidentally? Not much. There is not much at Talabheim. Well, either way, we can raise a herdstone here. So let's go into Ruination stance for Morgar, and hopefully this will get him level 12. And, medium casualties. This is gonna badly hurt our poor Chaos Spawn again, isn't it? Well, actually, it didn't hurt the Chaos Spawn that time. Alright, not complaining about that. We will raise a herdstone here. Like so, and a challenge completed. Which one? The Unnatural Order, Empire of Beasts. Dominate the world? No, we want the strong survive ASAP, so we need somebody to reach rank 15. There's some other decent stuff in there as well, and oh, we have to pick one of these, actually. We got some nice upgrades here, I'm sure, but we're not willing to pay 10,000 gold for any of them. Although I'm sure there's some nice ones. Winds of Magic Power Reserve Miscast Base Chance Reduction is nice. Winds of Magic cost 10% for all of our lures, ain't too bad. Primal Fury upgrade, 10 points for everything. Does it currently give us 5 points for everything? Just out of curiosity. No. 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Leadership is higher than 50% of base. Versus this, which gives us 10, 10, 10, 10, 10. Duration infinite regardless of the leadership. I see, I see. That ain't bad. I'm tempted to go for the 10% though. And the reduction, I mean. The rest of this doesn't seem as good. The missile resistance ain't bad either, but it's only during sieges, and frankly, I'd like to avoid sieges. Mostly because every time I have to worry about whether they're broken or not. Let's go consume order. Also feels appropriate. More important. Oh, damn, he didn't reach the level. Morgar. Oh well, we have one more turn left of joining of the herds, which means now is the time to upgrade things that we may want to upgrade. Kazrak. Oh, you can upgrade your main building? Okay, fine. Go into Hidden Encampment, upgrade your main building for 5.8k. And I guess, at the same time, we're going to want you to build... We do want that Razor Gore Chariot building, so Scorched Grass Plain, I guess. Raiding group? Yeah, we did want these everywhere as well. And I believe we cannot... Oh, we can't afford you. Won't be able to afford it in Malagor's army. Or Morgar's army. But we're working on it. Alright, let's see if we can't get any more money from anybody somehow. Malagor, I do believe there were enemy armies here. Oh, and they are together. This one's in March stance, which we can probably destroy much quicker than the second one, and it has less of those animated hulks, which means, and it's probably the one we go for. It is, by the looks of it, going to be very dangerous, though. We may even want to destroy Tom Knotts' army, and then perhaps move off the field before fighting Siegfried's. This army is just too weak at the current time. Especially without further upgrades, and I think that the upgrades to the Harpies are kind of minimal as well. Because we could get you fueled by blood. We get you hardened pelts. It'll only work for the Harpies. And frankly, you don't have a lot of points to spend anyway. In fact, you only have the one. So it probably won't work. Meaning, we're just going to attack. You could get destruction for the bonus money. Thick and hide is useless. Yeah, no, let's get Primal Instincts. Get you a little bit harder to kill. And Malagor, whether this is a bad idea or not, you're going to attack. Now, Ruination doesn't help us. Let's try Beastmen Ambush. If we can manage an ambush here, though, we should be able to destroy the army before it can move. Come on, give us luck. Ambush, yes, alright. Still a Pyrrhic victory, and still the animated hulks will be a toughie, but much, much easier than it would have otherwise been. Away we go. Alright, here we go, another Beastman ambush, and we know that these are always heckin' quick. Plus, and this is a Malagor's army, so those harpies, those damage dealers against the fragile zombie pirate gunnery mob should very much be in our favor. We've set it up so that all of our harpies will hit the enemy gunnery mobs at the same time. Our Lord Malagor and his Gorbul Karak Stoneheart, together with a couple of units of Ungors, will go directly for the enemy lord, while over in the background we have a couple of distracting units of Ungors led by the Beastman Giant, the Giant Feral Manticore, and both of the units of Razor Gores to deal with those animated hulks, mostly to keep them in place and do the damage while we have our harpies destroy all of those zombie pirate gunnery mobs. We're also going to have our 4 units of Ungor Raiders knock down those mortars here with the little bit of focus fire, and the fragility of the Vampire Coast gunnery crews should mean these things explode extremely quickly. And then as soon as the Ungors are done with them, we can have them switch over to destroying those animated hulks. And though I'm sure the Giant will be able to dish out some decent damage to them over time, as that is something it's pretty good at. Anyway, the Harpies are in, the Flock of Doom is down upon the enemy, and it looks like at the very least the middle portion of their column will be destroyed extremely quickly. We can already see a decent pile of them disintegrating. In the meantime, Malagor's in here somewhere trying to hunt down the enemy lord. It's much easier to actually spot the Gorbul than it is Malagor, and there's his model is significantly smaller. There he is. There he is down there, still going after the enemy lord. Looks like the enemy handguns and bombers are in pretty bad shape, but still holding on and managing to kill off at least a few of the harpies. The harpies are very fragile after all, so it does make sense. Let's see. I was trying to select a harpy there, or a harpy unit there. Yeah, 41-31, not too horrible in terms of stats, but that extremely low armor, and still 31 is still very low in terms of melee defense. They would also have absolutely no chance against something that does splash damage, like these piles of animated hulks, though of course the animated hulk's armor piercing would go to waste on the harpies there. Anyway, it looks like the main column of the enemy army is collapsed. The enemy lord has gone down, and the piles of flyers have destroyed the fragile gunners and bombers. Now it only remains to destroy the remnants of the enemy elite animated hulks. Once again, I have been very happy and impressed with these undead ogre units, at least in my own Vampire Coast campaign, but in this particular situation it looks like they will not serve the enemy well. There we go, a nice heroic victory, and we really got a good use out of this ambush, because now the other army is all alone and we can attack it next without worrying. Alright, lucky Malagor, very, very lucky, as obviously that would have been a lot more tough if we had not been able to get the ambush going. We do have 1,700 money as a reward, and I'm inclined to take it. We got one more turn of the joining of the herds. I mean, it's not a crazy reduction, but it's not going to get better, so nonetheless, we're going to sacrifice those captives despite the loss of bestial rage, and continue on towards Mr. Siegfried Schmidt, who will move away towards Bilbali. Well, either he gets ambushed again, or perhaps Bilbali might even join us in reinforcement. No guarantee, of course, but who knows. We do want to get all the passive abilities, specifically want Life Leeching and Wild Heart, and both of which are quite useful for the power reserves. The Doom of Mankind ain't too bad either, because that wins a magic cost reduction, which will combine further with Consume Order, making Malagor an absolutely fearsome caster. And of course, his relative lack of damage spells is going to be his biggest problem. It's a little bit too bad that he does not have Vile Tide himself. I would have traded Mantle of Gorok and possibly even Savage Dominion for Vile Tide, but I guess you can't give him all the damaging spells or he'd be too strong. Anyway, we'll level you up, sir. You do have Vile Tide, and give you another point in... Still very tempted by Destruction just for the additional money, but for now I think Primal Instincts, we are going to need it against all those units of animated hulks. Malagor, it looks like you're going to get to work again. Go. And no, they will not join us, and we did not get an ambush, unfortunate. That'll make this battle a little bit tougher, but hey, we can't have an easy fight each time. Well, let's hope that we can manage to steal that Trickster's Helm with round 2 for Birdman. Let's call this episode his proper debut, as that last episode was a little bit too easy for him. Alright, once again I have no idea what Malagor said there, but I'm sure it was suitably horrifying. Anyway, here we go. Gonna be a little bit of a more difficult, probably more than a little bit more difficult battle than the ambush was, as we won't have nearly the same kind of advantage, and on top of that, the enemy has much more in the way of animated hulks, and than they did last time, 2 more units in fact. We're gonna start the battle off by having a unit of, or the Flock of Doom, come down upon the enemy there. And it's going to hopefully dish out some decent damage. Alright, I was hearing ringing in my ears and I couldn't tell whether it was the game or whether it was in my ears or what. But anyway, and charging on in with the Razor Gores to follow everybody else in. And Malagor looks like he's going to get hit by some of those bombers while we wait for the enemy army, not quite to disperse, but to at least have the animated hulks stop protecting the relatively fragile ranged units. Now, this is a pseudo-column and deployment on this map, which usually does not work in the enemy's favor, but this is one of the situations where the column formation was actually advantageous to some degree. Nice penumbral pendulum moving right through the enemy ranks, and that penumbral pendulum will herald the arrival of our harpies. Had to use that first before the harpies went in so that they didn't take a massive amount of damage. Now, as I was saying about the column formation, usually not so good here, but because the column forced the animated hulks to be dispersed throughout the entire enemy army, that meant that we couldn't send our harpies in until those animated hulks left to those fragile units. So, and good job to the enemy, even though that was obviously not on purpose. Over on this side, we managed to catch 2 of the enemy animated Hulk units out alone, hit them with 2 units of Ungors, the Giant and the Manticore as well, to kill individual units, and now a few Harpies even to move in to help by rear charging them and causing them enough morale shock by the looks of it to start crumbling away. As soon as we knock those guys out, we'll be able to move on to the rest, but it looks like at the very least the enemy bombers, carronades, and handgunners will not be the threat here. Not that we were expecting them to be the threat, mind you. It was always the animated hulks that were the concern here. The rest can be destroyed relatively easily because they're all relatively fragile and our damage-dealing harpies can overcome them. Now it's just a matter of knocking down the rest of the animated hulks, which do still stand. The enemy lord is in there as well with both Malagor and our Gorbull trying to hunt him down. Looks like another unit of animated hulks over on this side getting pelted by arrows from our units of Ungor raiders for as long as they're in this army, at the very least, which will probably be replaced by additional manticores to keep up the flying theme as best we can. It would be lovely to get some Doom Knights or Chaos Dragons or something in here as well. I forgot, does SFO let you build Chaos Dragons? As in... separately? Well, either way, looks like that unit of animated hulks is down and the balance of power shifts fully in our favor. The Lord goes down as well, and all the animated hulks will collapse. A relatively quick battle as well. Nice final swing from our Beastman giant, and it looks like Malagor, despite the relative weakness, or general, not even relative, a weakness of his army, still using Ungors and Harpies, tier 1 and 2 units, manages to take 2 enemy armies in succession. Obviously, his army needs a heck of a retrofit before it can fight elite armies, but it's a decent start for him, and we're gonna make money and get him some better stuff. Alright, well, first the Dark Gods show us their favor by gifting us that clutch ambush while the 2 armies were reinforcing each other, but then they make us work for it right after by not allowing it and giving us the second battle, which turned out to be pretty nice, and we were victorious, although we did suffer a little bit of damage with some of those units. As usual, very nice job to the Razor Gores, who did massive amounts of damage, 20k each, and much more than pretty much anything else other than Malagor, who, with those repeated casts of his, both of the Flock of Doom and Penumbral Pendulum, was able to clean house. We'll definitely need a few more of the Giant Feral Mantgores, maybe a couple of Giants and a few other things in this army before it is sufficiently strong. I guess since we have one more turn, we could probably build something else. We should probably take the money again. Sacrifice those captives. Not to worry, we'll be building up some Bestial Rage or whatever it was right after, or shortly. Let's get you completely destroyed now. Get a little bit of that bonus dread as we're saving it to get those additional Gore Bowls. Auto-resolve, please don't kill off anything or damage anything too heavily. And it looks like we're good, and hey, we did get the Trickster's Helm this time. Fantastic. And you know what? This time we can kill the captives. Get a little bit of that, bonus Bestial Rage. Now we cannot reach Sahagun, but that isn't necessarily a bad thing. We'll get ourselves into raiding stance and stay in Bilbali for a turn. Raid them, damage them, and then take Sahagun next turn, and then raise a nice herd stone there as well. Alright, now we have 1 turn remaining, and we need to figure out what we want to spend it on. Ooh, Impaled Corpses actually does tempt me. But then we'd have to leave raiding stance. Oh, and then we need the pits. Nah, we need the Pits of Horror. We gotta get those Mantgores in here. Yeah. I think it's pretty critical that we build it, which means, sadly, we won't be raiding this turn, but what can you do? Would have been nice to build a few more things, but oh well. The Manticores will be nice. We already have capacity to build 1, and we can get a little bit more capacity shortly, I hope. There was nothing else to build unless I'm mistaken in Taurox's army, because we went and built pretty much everything, and I guess now we just really need to hope that it works and we don't get besieged. But I guess, then what would we do? No, and it might still work even if we do get besieged. I'm not 100% sure. Either way, let's continue traveling. Morgur and everybody else is good. Bravener was the only one who still needed to move. You can also go into Beastman ambush stance rather than in the stance you were currently in. And by raiding Taliban, would you be able to heal a little bit more? Can't quite tell. 34 and 4 versus 34 and 4, it's the exact same, so I guess we'll get the additional Bestial Rage, and you weren't building any buildings anyway, so, yeah. Just to double check, can Kazarak build any buildings? No. No, he cannot. Alright, well that seems like another end turn to me, so we're gonna end the turn, skip, end turn, and then Moment of Truth, please work. After all that setup, please tell me that worked. It really depends on where Heinrich Kemmler's main army is. If it's nearby, he and Gustav will try to attack us. Oh, this is his new capital. Okay, don't peace out with him. And he is not going to besiege us, which means all of these buildings will be complete unless, I don't know, Durthu declares war on us and attacks us here. Although I'm gonna say that one's a little bit let's say less likely. And we've nearly reached the end of the line here. Yes, indeed. Fantastic. Faction destroyed. I don't even know who you are. And Clan Skull begins an outpost, but, well, that'll disappear shortly when we betray them. And there we go, Taurox. You just need the Bull building and the Gorgon building. That's really all you need. And I guess all of the supporting stuff as well, but those are nice for different reasons. Gustav, you appear to have lost a few of your units, perhaps because your faction is weaker. We should be able to easily take Karak Asgaraz with an auto-resolve, and then move around taking, I guess, Ubersreich. Oh. How much momentum do we have? Probably not enough to do both, eh? Maybe. Ubersreich is under siege as well. Oh, it's probably that little tiny rebel army, isn't it? But that one should probably be killed in a non-auto-resolve, and the defenders here are quite weak. I think for this one we can auto-resolve, though, so away you go, sir. And, oh, actually more of those guys there. Alright, close victory, but at least casualties will be low. Is this worth fighting, considering what we fought? A full stack there? I don't think so, so auto-resolve it. Some damage, but that was expected. And you know what? It's not a lot of money. It is a decent amount of rage, but I think we'll raise in advance to get that constant casualty replenishment rate. And now you're going to back off, and you're going to back off in the right direction. Good job, sir. If we go into Juggernaut raiding, looks like we can just manage to reach Woolric Spawn Seeker and Ubersreich, and hopefully take them out together. Hopefully at the same time. However, by the looks of it, we'll have to do that next episode as we are pretty much out of time. And ooh, the ever-living vampire counts are running around. I wonder if they're going to fight these Skaven. We should probably destroy them rather than allowing them to occupy all of these ruins, but it's not a priority right now. What will be a priority is Kaz taking out Krudenwald, although it's poorly defended, so he should be able to easily take that with an auto-resolve, and Morger to move to Wiedebach, which will warrant an actual battle. They've got good defenders here, and Karl Franz helping out, and Morger may actually need a little bit of help with that, so we won't be doing it until the mage reaches us, which on the bright side does look to be fairly soon. I'm actually not sure whether we should move him around like this or like this. I guess if we start raiding Wiedebach. But oh, it's a port here, eh? I don't know. I don't know. You know what? We can go through the port of Taliban. Might be safer. At least this way Mr. Conroy Haupt Anderson will probably not be able to assassinate us. Anyway, with that, I am going to call the episode here. Next time, yes, I am aware we have a ton of dread, and what I'm waiting for is to reach that cataclysmic rampage streak, pop the Call of Gorbals, and increase their capacity, giving us at minimum 2 Gorbals in Taurox's army, maybe 4. I have not yet decided, but all of these Ungors are just unnecessary here. And maybe even get him a second Beret Shaman as well. I like the wild in here, but we should have both wild and beasts at the same time. Then we will be starting to... Oh, looks like these guys are going to take Krugenheim. Whatever, we can go to Needling or something like that.
Not likely.
Anyway, we'll be sending somebody south and then somebody over into this direction. We really need another war herd ASAP, but we should be able to get one up reasonably soon as we get another army capacity at the next Ruination Mark level. Oh, and we'll start fighting the vampire counts in earnest with Malagor and hopefully give him a few of those manticores. Might even get the capacity to build, I don't know, 3 of them at once so that he doesn't have to worry about their lack. Anyway, more of this to come, so stay tuned for more Beastmen. Don't forget to leave those likes and comments below, especially to Threshold. If you want the hour-long episode, all glory to the algorithm. And thanks for watching.